Hey guys, it's Cameron with Ollie Cat Design. Today, I'm going to be vlogging a little bit about what I'm doing throughout my day, what I have going on at Ollie Cat Design, and just kind of take you along with me throughout my day. Now, with that being said, my day has already started. Obviously, I'm at my office. I already had a full morning being a mom. Today, I have an appointment with some new potential clients. I've met them once before, but I haven't worked with them before. And so we're going to meet and discuss their goals and what their plans are for their business. If you're new to this channel, I would love it if you'd like and subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so you can see when I post new videos. I am going to try to get better about posting more frequently. We will see. As always, I'm a mom and a business owner, and then I'll also support my husband's business and help him when needed and do all of his marketing and design work as well. So, you know, it just is what it is sometimes. And I know that I would love to share more about my business, behind the scenes of the work that I do for clients and just my day-to-day activities as a designer, as a business owner, as a mother, as a Christian. That's something I would love to be able to discuss more on YouTube and my social media platforms. And so anyway, I think I've talked plenty for the intro of this video. So let's kind of get into sharing more information about what I'm actually going to do today, what my meeting is about today, and then some other tasks that I have to get done during the workday. Okay, so now I'm facing the computer screen, so the lighting's not great, but I kind of want to walk you through what I'm doing to prepare for the meeting that I have today. The meeting that I have is for a husband and wife realty team, and they're actually just individual broker, associate, and realtor right now, but they are wanting to actually form their own group or team in the realty industry and have a team that works with them, which is not something they do currently. So they're wanting to go through a rebrand, kind of implement that and get them started down that track, because currently their business is branded as their names. It's branded as them individually. So what we're going to do today is have an initial meeting, talk about their goals, talk about any kind of specific timelines they have in place or when they're wanting this to be finished. Typically, a rebrand project, just a rebrand in general itself, is about a 4 to 6 week project. Now that can change. Like if somebody comes to me and they want a logo and they know I'm trying to hold my camera. If they want a logo, they know exactly what they want. They really don't want professional, input or research for the full brand identity design. Sometimes that can be done a lot faster. Now, would I recommend that for everyone? No, I wouldn't. I really do feel like it needs some research and some actual dedicated time to really understand what the branding needs to be and how that's going to translate into the design, into how you communicate with your clients or customers and stuff such as that. So a typical redesign or branding design with Ollie Cat Design usually takes 4 to 6 weeks. A lot of that depends on response time from clients, response times from myself, if I need to do extra revisions, more research, if our visions of what the branding needs to be doesn't align and we need to kind of reset, anything like that could delay that process. So, but one of the things I do before I meet with clients or before I take on consultation calls is I do some research of what they have currently, and that's what I'm doing now. So what I'm doing now, and I'm not going to show you the screen because they're not clients yet, and I just don't feel super comfortable sharing their information with you yet. But what I'm doing currently is I've pulled up their website. I'm reading through some of the stuff on their website. Now, typically when I'm preparing for these meetings, since they're not clients yet, since I'm not getting paid for this, I usually spend maybe 30 minutes to look through their stuff and do some research on their company before our meeting. And that just gives me a little bit more insight before they get into my office or before we get on a call to know who they are, what they've done in the past, and potentially where I could help them at in some of those areas. And so I'm looking at their website, I'm looking at their social media platforms. If they have videos, I'll watch a couple of their videos quickly. and then go from there. So as I'm looking through this website, I've seen a few things that I would like to make note of, and whether or not they use me for redesigning their website in the future, or if they're going to stick with what they have and just kind of update the branding themselves, that's totally up to them. That's totally fine. I just make note when I'm going through this of things that I see that I think could be improved upon, and if they want that feedback, then I share it with them. So for theirs, one of theirs is when they upload reviews to their website. It's so great that they're doing that they're adding reviews to their actual website. However, the review itself is being uploaded as an image, and then there's some text, like there's a paragraph of text that they add below that. Now, that's great. You can upload it as an image. However, the alt text on the image needs to probably use some keywords to help with SEO and actually explain what's in the image. And then also, when you upload the image, that doesn't help your SEO because it can't read the text on the image. So I would always suggest, if you're uploading testimonies to your website and you want the testimony on an image, also copy that same testimony, that text, and put it in your paragraph of text as well. And then that way it's text that's on your website, that's searchable, that helps your SEO, that helps you rank on Google, and it actually can read the actual testimony and not just your input on the testimony, right? So that's one of the things that I saw that I'll be sharing with them. I feel like there's some opportunities for sure for their homepage. They've included some videos on their pages, which is great. Videos and images on your pages is great. Just, I would say, really think about the quality of the videos, and then also make sure any information that's in the videos is going to be evergreen content. On one of them, I saw that they had a listing that said for sale. I'm not sure how long ago that video was uploaded, and if that video or if that property is still for sale. It may not be for sale still. If that's the case, then they would have to completely redo that video and take that property out or show it as for sale each time they sold a property. So if you're putting content, like especially content that takes a lot of time to create on your website, definitely make it evergreen content that you're not having to update all the time. The exception to this is if you have specific spots on your website for temporary promotions or marketing spaces, right? So your homepage banner might be a marketing space, and you might put your seasonal promotions up there or seasonal content. That's fine, as long as you keep up with it, as long as you have your content calendar or your marketing plan for the year, and you have in there and you have reminders set, hey, I need to update this on this date, or else it's going to be outdated and irrelevant, and it's not going to be good for my website. Also, outdated content makes it look like it's not professional. It makes it look like you're not on top of it, and so most businesses, they need to look like they have it together, right? Even if sometimes we scramble and have to figure things out along the way. It happens to all of us. So anyway, those are some things that I saw. There's a few more things that I'm going to make note of, and then really just kind of let them lead this meeting and tell me like what they have been doing, what they are wanting to do in the future, their goals, what they need help with. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help them. I'm not here to sell them things that they don't need or want or don't have the budget for. That's fine. They may not have the budget to redo their website. That's fine. There are things that I can do to help them, especially if we do a full brand identity design. And then they'll have a brand guide that they can use, and they can go through their website and make those updates themselves. Anyway, that's what I'm doing currently. I will continue doing this. We meet in about 30 minutes, and then I will give you a little bit of an update of how that went and then what else I'm doing for the rest of the day. Hey guys, I just finished that meeting, and then I ate a little bit of lunch, and so I just kind of wanted to fill you in on what all we discussed and next steps. So in the meeting, it was a husband and wife realty team, and they're actually not a team yet. They're going to expand into a team or a group, and we discussed the rebrand, and what we're really kind of needing to work on first is the name of the new group, because originally they had their name as their names, and when adding people to a team or a group, you want them to feel included and a part of that group, and so you don't want to exclude them by having the group as just your name. So One of the first things that I offered to do for them is to send them a questionnaire, and in that questionnaire they're each going to answer the questions individually, and then I will review their answers together, and from those I should be able to kind of narrow it down and provide them a few different options to kind of spark some ideas in their mind creatively for the name of their business. Typically this isn't something that I do for every client. Most clients, when they come to me, they already have their name selected, and I go off of that for their brand design. But for these clients, I want to help them narrow down their options and really choose a name that's going to resonate with them and continue the business that they've developed under their own names. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to create a questionnaire for them, specifically ask them questions that will help me in determining the type of names, business names I can send them. And then from there, once they have it narrowed down, it'll be up to them to file for a DBA to use under their LLC for that name, and then to secure the domain name and any social media usernames before I ever get started on their rebrand. The reason for that is, and how I explained it to them, is that I don't want to start the rebrand under the impression or the assumption that that name is available, and then when it comes time for them to actually register that name or acquire the domain, it's not available. And so at that point, either we have to backtrack on the brand design and like rename their business, which can be a big deal depending on how the design is, or they have to settle for another name, another domain name, or to add something to it or take something away. And you want your domain name for your website to be as simple as possible and easy to remember. And so, yes, if you're a client, if you're someone who's starting a business and you don't know where to start, or if you don't know if you should reach out to a designer yet, definitely secure your name within your state or county, or however you need to do it from where you are. Secure your name first before you ever get anything designed, because you don't want to have to pay twice for your design. And so if I did the full package for them and then had to backtrack and go back and redo things, and that would add to their cost, because that's my time. So anyway, that's how that meeting went. I'm going to create that questionnaire. I'll probably share it with you guys just so you can kind of know, here's the questions that I ask, in case you're kind of asking yourself those same questions with your brand, if you're trying to come up with a name. And then from there, I will also create a quote for them for the services that we discussed today. They won't be all-inclusive rebranding services, because some of those they're not going to do right off the bat. And with realtors, there's so many different signs or graphics that you may need, and also they can be expensive. And especially with forming a team or a group and you have multiple people, if you're supplying those for those people, the price can really add up. So that's what I'm doing now for them. I'm not doing it directly after the meeting though, because I have other client work that I need to get done first. I need to choose Pantone colors for another brand design client. I sent over the brand selections and gave her, I think it was 4 or 5 different options for brand colors, and she likes 2 of them, but there's one color in each of them that she's not really fond of. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to present her with some choices for that color, some different variations, and then I want to further define the other colors within those color selections with actual Pantone colors, because what I sent her previously were just sample colors. And they weren't actual Pantone colors. The reason it's important to have Pantone colors and not just like a hex code or an HTML code is because when you go to print graphics, like actually print things, I know it's not all digital, but when you go to actually print graphics, they're gonna need those actual colors depending on the type of printing process they use. So they will need the actual colors, the color codes, because the hex codes, the HTML codes, those are meant for on-screen viewing, okay? So it's kind of like if you've ever bought paint at a paint store. There's the little color swatch cards, and on the back of those, it tells them how much of this paint, like what percentage is this color, what percentage is that color, and it has the exact formula that they scan and it goes into the system, and then a machine, you know, puts those colors into the white paint that it started as to make that exact paint color. It's the same thing with graphic design. So it's the same thing. When printers print out your design, the printer needs to know exactly how much of this color, that color to put in. So CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So it needs to know exactly what colors to put in there so that it prints exactly the same every time. So I'm going to bring you with me as we go through my Pantone color deck and pick out some of the greens that I'm going to present to her, and then further narrow down the exact Pantone colors for the other colors in that selection. Let's go. As I'm going through here, I'm looking at the different greens that I may want to include in her brand. And if you can see in this, it's the Pantone Color Bridge Coated fan deck. And so you can see this one, it has the Pantone color, the RGB color codes, HTML, and then the CMYK color codes. So you can see all of these different options, and I really want to get a few more color, I can't remember the name of them, color fan decks with different options for colors, because this one's great, but there's sometimes like I want something even more specific and it's not in here. So that's probably going to be, these are not cheap though, just FYI. That's probably going to be something I invest in within the next few years to get one or two more options for these. So just looking through here, these are pretty close. I'm gonna choose something from here to include. Here is the questionnaire that I created for those clients I was telling you about, and I kind of want to go through it with you and show you the information that I included. I made this generic enough to where I can use it for clients in the future as well. And then some of the questions that I've asked on here are questions that I would ask on a typical rebrand project or branding project as well. So this will give me some insight into that side of things as well from the very beginning. And I felt like those were some of the questions that I should probably include now to get a really good idea of where they're wanting their brand to go and their business. The questions that I ask, the first few questions are just their information, their contact information, name, current business name if they're changing it, and so on, their business website. I ask this to every client, what year did your business open? If they haven't opened their business or started it, then I ask, when will it open or start? Will it start this year? Are you planning for a launch next year? How is that going to work? Next, I ask, how do you want people to feel when they see your business or website or use your services? Some examples are happy, sentimental, serious, energetic, loving, etc. What are some words that you would like people to associate with your brand or business? Some examples are professional, unique, quaint, luxurious, helpful, Christian, etc. What are some unique qualities or characteristics that differentiate your brand? This can be extremely helpful in this process because
there may be something very unique to their business that you can draw off of to build their brand on. What colors are you drawn to for your brand? We will take these into consideration for your design project. And I say that with intention because if the brand that they're describing to me does not align with their favorite colors or the colors that they're drawn to, if their colors communicate a very different feel or look, then we may not always be able to mesh those together. So I always say, well, we will take these into consideration for your design project. What are the core values of your business? What is your tagline? Who is your target client or customer? Please describe them in as much detail as possible: age, education, occupation, income, household size, their interest, or what they're interested in. Are there certain brands or logos that you're drawn to? Please list them here and explain what draws you to them. This is important because this kind of will define their style. If they're drawn to the same style of logo across various different categories, different types of businesses, then this can ultimately let me know that. If they're drawn to more icon-based or mascot-based business logos, then this will tell me that. If they're drawn to more word marks or something such as that, then that will also show that to me in this process. What are your favorite animals or animals that would represent your brand well due to their mannerisms? I say list up to 3. An example that I give are bees. They're hardworking, busy, harmonious, community-driven, and resilient. Then the next question is, where are some of your favorite places to visit and why? What is your family origin or the origin of your last name? This one can be very insightful. This can help me with design directions sometimes. If someone is very family oriented and they're driven by their heritage or their history, this can be very insightful for me, and I can try to tie some of that into the design process and the brand process. What are your hobbies? These can be current hobbies or hobbies you've enjoyed in the past, because I know myself, I have kids now and I don't get to do a lot of the things that I used to enjoy doing just because I don't have time. And so when people ask me, well, what are your hobbies now? I'm like, sleeping. That's pretty much it. So if I can sleep, I'm doing good. Other than that, my business it's not a hobby. Obviously, that's my career, it's my passion, but also it's something I really enjoy. That's why I chose to do it. So, anyway. And if you hear my dogs or my kids in the background, that's because I'm recording this a couple days later because I ran out of time. And I'm at home right now, and my kids are in the room playing, and my dogs are outside. And so, I'm sure you can probably hear them. So let's just wrap this up. List your favorite material possessions. List up to 3. These could be things such as earrings, rug, hammock, old record, baseball cards, watch, etc. Make sure to include details about why they're your favorite and any unique details that make them special to you. So that's kind of more of an open-ended question. They could list so many different things. And so it's really just trying to for me to get to know them a little bit better. And to draw off of that for their design process. Okay, and then the last thing that I put on here is just other information you'd like to share. If they have things that they really don't want in their design, or if they have something that they really, really want to include in the design, that's where they can let me know that information. If they're super open to, my ideas and things they're just leaving it up to me, they can tell me that. If they want it very specific, then they would need to list some information there as well. And this questionnaire is coming after our initial meeting, so I just want to throw that out there. And then after I get the responses from both of these people, then I will compare all the responses, and then we'll go from there. So since I'm recording this on a weekend, this is where I'm going to end the video. Hopefully next time when I record a video for you guys, I'll actually record an ending to it. But for now, this is going to have to do. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. I hope that you got some insight into my processes and what I do for clients and stuff like that you can implement into your business if you're a designer, or if you are a business owner or an entrepreneur, someone wanting to start a business, then you kind of have some insight on what this process looks like and part of my daily life. And today, part of my daily life is dogs and kids. So I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave me a comment and let me know what the most helpful thing for you in this video was, or what you enjoyed most. And I'll promise to try to get better on my ums and so's. Have a good afternoon.